Welcome to 2Cents FC. I'm your host, Amobi Okugo, back again with my guy, L. Each week, we'll be discussing topics from around the soccer world and giving you our unfiltered thoughts and opinions. This week, we're joined by FC Cincinnati winger, my little bro, one of the most underrated players in the game, Joe Gyau. We'll be learning all about Joe's journey. We're talking about the state of U.S. soccer, and we're also saluting Sydney Leroux Dwyer for Black soccer history. Joe, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Glad to be on the show.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for taking the time. First and foremost, congrats on the birth of, your child. I know that's a blessing. How's your sleep?
Man, sleep is non-existent, bro. Had to just give that up. But, it ain't as bad as everybody says it is, to be honest.
I feel it. It's so crazy. For context, I met Joe when I was 15 and you were 14. So he came into residency. And I was like, who is this little kid with these big ass calves and just dicing past everybody? But since then, we've developed a great friendship. Like I said before, one of the most underrated players in the game. But first questions first. We ask every guest on the show, when did you fall in love with soccer?
Man, I would say as young as about 3 years old. Yep, 3 years old, man. Because I always saw my dad playing because he used to play back in the day. So he used to take me everywhere. And yeah, man, since then, that's when it started.
No, so Joe, yeah, everyone knows your dad, DC legend, national team legend. But for you, like when it comes to like organized ball, do you like remember that moment?
Yeah. So I would say about six or 7 years old is when I started playing organized ball. I was playing in DC Stoddard, and then the next season is when we switched over to Bethesda. And that's when I remember things getting more serious, us getting more involved in tournaments, traveling a little bit more, more elite players. So yeah, around that age is when it started getting more organized.
Okay. So real quick, because we've had a couple guests on the show repping the DMV, and I know you rep the DMV super hard. Is it going to be like a two-part question? Where does DMV rank nationally when it comes to producing talent? And second question, if you had a chance to give me like a best 11 from the DMV area, they could be current or former players that you would match up and take against anybody. Who are they going to be?
All right, I'll go with the 11. Okay. So before I say this 11, I don't want anybody from the DMV to get offended by anything.
No one's hurting feelings.
Yeah, if I forgot your name, it's no disrespect. It's a lot of players. I know a lot of guys. So, all right. So from the back line, I would say Shaquille Phillips. My boy Shaquille Phillips, the center back, right center back, left center back. I would have to say my boy Chris Hangy was a solid left center back. Left back, currently I'll put Chase Gasper in there. Chase Gasper is doing his thing. Right back's a tough one. We have a good few right backs, but Chris Adoy is doing his thing. Right mid, right. Let me start with the center mid. Center mids, I would have to put Eric Williamson. Who else in the center mid, bro? This is so tough. Oh, my boy Banga. We played together at Potomac. Tough guy to get by, hard worker. Left wing, I'll put myself, inverted.
Yeah, you like the inverted role. I remember that.
Yeah. On the right side, I'll have to put. We'll come back to the right side. Number 10, Gideon Zalalem. Gotta put my boy Gideon in there. Up top at striker. This is tough, bro. Because I know Jeremy's been doing his thing, scoring the goals, bro. Jeremy's been doing his thing. My boy, but Jeremy knows me and Lester are tight. So I gotta put my boy Lester up top. And on the right wing, bro, this is tough, man. Who's on the right?
You ain't putting none of the OGs up there. You ain't putting no Rodney.
Oh my God! See, this is what I meant by say don't get offended.
Yeah. The talent is too much.
Chase Gasper, my bad, bro. My bad. Rodney's coming in at that left back spot. Chase, my bad. Right winger. Damn, scratch. Israel Cisse up top and Lester on the right because he's a lefty.
Bro, we might have to stop this podcast. Israel Cisse from ages 14 to 20, best youth player. If he was coming up right now, Pulisic, Weston, Tyler, and know what he's talking about. I swear to God.
Man. Israel was different. Oh, wait, and then scratch it. Freddie Adu at number 10, and I'm going to push Gideon back. Deep line
playmaker, huh?
Huh?
Deep line 8 then, huh?
Yeah, deep line 8. Man, it's too many guys to think off the top of my head, but yeah, that's what I'll put.
Okay, respect. So with that type of lineup, I mean, you left a bunch of legends off. Where you ranking it on a national level? Like, Cal, we used to have arguments about this.
Man, on a national level, like, I mean, there's still so many guys that I didn't say, like Gucci on Yewu. Like, there's so many guys coming out the area, but for producing talent, bro, Kyle Beckerman, like, yo, I'm like, guys, don't get offended. I'm just, thinking on the spot right here. But yeah, man, I'll definitely say we're like top two for producing talent, bro. Top 2 for sure.
Oh, respect. I mean, those names don't lie, Beth, and it's not just like former players, it's current players, it's players that overseas, domestic. Yeah. DMV really got it when it comes to the talent. So, what is going on here? 1 second. Yeah, so obviously, growing up in the DMV, you talk about the talent. How has it shaped your career? I know you guys do like pickups. You guys are all very close. You guys keep in touch. Unlike, some other communities, you guys do a great job of supporting one another. So how do you feel like it's shaped your career, especially you that's traveled all over the world?
It's given me the tools that have, enabled me to play this long. So every time I come home, there's no shortage of training, I can come home and get a good group together, good group to train with, play pickup with. My father is always there. So, and then just having like the diversity, the different backgrounds of players. So, you see all the different styles of play, right there. Growing up in the area, I could drive, 5 minutes down the road, play pickup in the El Salvadorian neighborhood, drive 5 minutes up the road, then you're with all, the West Africans. You go to Bethesda, then it's a whole different demographic, so you get a little bit of everything. And with so many players, it's also competitive. So that helped a lot.
No, I respect. You talked about your dad. Obviously, he has a great a story. Went to Howard, did his thing, played for the men's national teams, and all over the country. Everyone knows that if you can get through a Mr. Gyau's training session, then you right. So talk about training with him growing up. The lessons that he taught you, and just a little bit about your guys' relationship. I remember growing up, agents would like say, you got to talk to the dad. If the dad's not agreeing, it's not going. So talk about that relationship.
Yeah. So yeah, man, that's it's definitely a huge plus when you have somebody who's been through it in your corner already. I can't stress that enough. Somebody who knows the ins and out of the game. To be able to have made his mistakes and then correct those, telling me certain things, what to do and what not to do, man, I can't even really like describe it, but the training sessions, it just prepared me mentally. So like how you said, like if you could get through one of his sessions, if you could get through his training sessions, like if you train with him for a full summer, mentally that meant that you were ready. So like you could see pretty much a lot of those guys that I named on that list have trained with my dad. We all do those running sessions together, and it pretty much set me up for Germany, because once I was over there doing the preseasons, I had done so much hard training. Like preseason was easy for me. By the time we get over there to preseason, guys are like, oh my God, we got to do the beat test. We got to do this fitness test. I'm like, yo, this is light. This is light.
Light work.
This is light, you know? So, and as I got older, I also realized that 95% of the game is mental, you know? Most of the time, yeah, you're tired, but that's not even maximum capacity of what your real threshold is. So if you're able to like push through those sessions, if you're able to, you know, give that last inch over your, you know, competitor, you learn that at a young age. You're just doing it and you don't even know that you're doing it when you're older, you know? Not until I became like 23, 24 that I started realizing that it's an inches game. And that's what he was implementing with us early on. So that's how that influenced me a lot.
No, our coach is talking about that right now. It's like, I guess it was like some Navy SEALs thing where it's like when your mind is tired, your body's tired, it's actually on, you still have 60% capacity to reach.
Yeah.
And you talk about these training sessions. Can you give us like a hint? I know we got some people that, you know, trying to, you know, make it to the next level.
Yeah.
What are some of these training session drills that you got going on so we can share with the audience?
You know, the crazy thing is like there's my father, he's never like shy about revealing what he does because he could tell you, but you still ain't gonna do it. Like you can know the secret, but you still got to go out and run it, and people ain't gonna do it, you know. So we would go out in the summertime, hit the track, like not even hit the field. We'll hit the track. You got to do 10 quarters in under a minute. 10 quarters in under a minute, like 400 meters in under a minute. Then we'll build it up. We'll do like a pyramid run. So you'll start with a quarter, 1 minute rest, then an 800, 2-minute rest, and then 3 laps, 3-minute rest, then a mile, and then back down the pyramid. And each time you got to make the times, bro. So like the mile, you still have to make it in under 6 minutes after you've done all of that. You still got to do your 800 under 2:45. You still got to do your 400 under a minute. And then if you can make that, bro, like you can do anything, man. Like I can't even tell you how many dudes I've seen puke, never come back. Bro, yeah, man. So that's what the sessions look like. Then when we get to the ball work, it's a lot of cone work in tight spaces, arrowhead drills, cutting, passing and receiving, things like that.
And it's a testament to your play because all that hard work shows on your in your game. And me and Kofi were actually watching old highlights. It's a touchy subject. I'm not trying to bring it up, but the U20s and some of the highlights, you was just dicing, dodging, you know, and that's kind of from the training that you did. So, you know, if you're listening and you're like a young player trying to get better, that's the work it takes to get to the next level. And you know, you talked about Germany. You were in Germany before it was like the thing to do, before German clubs were coming here and scouting out players like it's an AAU team. Talk about your experience. Talk about what you learned and like any insight that you would have for, you know, a young player that's looking to make that move.
Oh, for sure. Before I get into that, I'm glad you said that because like it's funny because me and Charles, we were like some of the first ones to go over there, but like you never hear anybody say it. But the only person who has ever like come out openly and said it was Christian Pulisic. He was on ESPN and he said, the guy was like, how does it feel for you to be like the first American to really get into Germany? And Christian was like, nah, I wasn't the first. Like Joe Gyau was out there before me, you know? So it was nice to hear him say that. You know, Christian's
but that's what it's all about though. The real ones really know. Like Christian, they know. Like they do their research, they do their history, they know like the OGs in the game. So it's the media, and I know you got some things in the works to correct the story, but the real ones know.
For sure. But yeah, when you go out to Germany, man, it's a whole new level of discipline. You know, once you get out to that side, you see IG, you see one side of it, you see all the Bundesliga players out there living the lavish life, everything is great. But then there's a whole side of that German game that you do not see. You know, like they're in training, they're on your ass about the smallest things, you know, most of the time things that have nothing to do with the pitch, you know, And if you're not ready to go through that ridicule, if you're not ready to go through that criticism, you might as well not even head out there, you know. They pay attention to a lot of details. So there is no time to be sloppy in training, because that's one place where how you train, that will determine if you're in the starting 11 or not. Like out there, it doesn't matter if you're like a superstar or whatever. If you're slacking off in practice, that coach will take the dude that's behind you who's grinding and play you, just to
That's
tell
facts.
you like you're not as hot as you think you are, you know.
That's
Um,
facts.
it's also just a different lifestyle. You know, the people out there, they work really hard. They're really blunt, honest people. So if you have a whack game, they'll be like, "Oh, not looking so good, huh?" Straight up, they're like, "Whoa, what's up?" You know, that's something that, you know, a lot of young guys may have to get used to. But when you do learn the game the right way, it goes a long way. Like if you can play in Germany, then, you know, you've seen it with numerous players. You can transfer pretty much anywhere and find success.
No, that's facts. And you brought up a great point about, just the German way of playing. I remember when I was there, like a training trial type situation, and I hit you up. I was like, bro, tell me why, when I was at Freiburg, I was like, tell me why Bayern is out here. They got a game tonight, and instead of a walking stretch, they're having a full on practice.
Yeah.
Like they're doing stride outs, possession drills. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Next thing later that night, 1-0, you wouldn't have thought of it. It's just a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Freiburg, they have like an hour training session strictly on finishing, and that's just finishing. Let alone we had a workout and actual training session that night. So it's just a different level of commitment, and it's like for guys like you, other guys that have gone to Germany, you can see the difference in the play and the style and the discipline that it takes to really succeed. So appreciate you sharing that.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So with that being said, talk about, you had an experience to play for Borussia Dortmund, Hoffenheim, in multiple levels in the German league. Talk about like the atmosphere. Talk about the experience. A little bit of that.
To be over there and then train with, guys of that level. So mind you, when I broke into the first team at Hoffenheim, like there were superstars like Demba Ba, Ibisevic, Ryan Babel, Edson Brathwaite, Isaac Borsa, Roberto Firmino, Carlos Eduardo. Like, this is the first time where I'm breaking into a club where it's, really big names into it, where I'm seeing like real big money thrown around, and then seeing how those guys carry themselves. That was like a big wake up call for me, because, a lot of times you think like back then, before like I knew anything, I didn't think like a lot of the big guys, I didn't think they came in and left everything out on the training pitch every day. I thought like, okay, training is to tune things up and, get on it for the game.
Yeah.
Roberto Firmino, bro, this dude is a workhorse, a workhorse. And just seeing how they implement that, being at Hoffenheim, I learned like, my professionalism. I learned about, being a true pro, taking care of my body, regeneration, treatment, and then getting to Dortmund. I already knew what it took to be a pro, but now this was like a step up. The tradition at the club was next level. Like everywhere you go in the city, doesn't matter if you're a second team player, first team player, like folks are like, oh, they know exactly who you are. You go places to eat, everything's free. You go to Lisa Whip, you're getting percentages, everything off. Like you go get clothes, they're like, oh, just take these clothes and just post a picture. Like everything was just on the house. People just want to be seen around you.
Yeah.
It was something totally different. And then with that being said, everything was picked apart, ridiculed, so come game time on the weekend, there's this thing, it's Kicker. It's called Kicker. That's the newspaper or the magazine. And for every game they give ratings. So they got the starting 11, and then they'll put your rating under your name. So if you had a whack ass game, they put that rating like their point system is a little bit different. 1 is the best and 6 is the worst. So like if you had a bad game, you'll have like that 5 next to your 5 next to your name in bold letters. You know, folks are like, yeah, he was trash. You're talking about it everywhere. You won't hear about it. You'll keep hearing it until the next game, you know, so that always keeps you on your toes. And then just training under Klopp, like he expected a level of professionalism, and he expected a level of you know, he was a perfectionist, you know?
Yeah.
And the level of work, bro, I just remember going into my first preseason with them, the amount of like transition drills we were doing, I was like, yo, dudes play like this. Like we were doing these drills. So the 5v2 is at half field.
Yeah.
And there's 2 people in the middle. They bounce it, bounce it, bounce it, bounce it, bounce it. If the 2 in the middle win the ball, then there's another team on the side of the field that's going on a breakaway. So once you win the ball, they're going for a breakaway, and you have to chase back from half field, bro. Like you got to run, sprint all the way back to try and defend the counterattack. And then each pair will do that like 3 times. But when we're doing drills like this, you know, possession games where if you lose the ball, you got to press for like a minute, no matter what. You just run until you get the ball. And if you don't get it, keep running. And I remember one preseason game, we had just signed a new player. His name was Don Wan Ji. He played in Sunderland, like top players, Korean. Yeah. And he had lost the ball. We played against Osnabrück or something. He had lost the ball one time. I've never seen a coach get this angry. He lost the ball one time and didn't run back. Oh my God.
It's curtains for him.
Halftime, Klopp tore this man up, bro. And me, this is my first preseason up there. I'm sitting in the locker room, scared, bro. I'm like, I don't want to make a mistake, bro.
Yeah. I can only imagine.
But, you know, that was like, but that also forced you to, you know, elevate your game, you know. So just being at those places and experiencing that, man, especially after everything, you know, you go through before that, being in residency, you know, just training and dreaming about being in those atmospheres. It was just nice.
No, respect. So do you ever think the United States can get to that point where it's like you show up and you like, yo, nah, dinner's on me, you know, don't worry about that smoothie, like massages at this place. You ever think from a culture standpoint, soccer can get to that?
I think it depends on the market. Like it's getting there. You know, in the off season, we've had over here, we've had a few, you know, organizations collaborate with us, you know, whether it be physical therapy places or indoor facilities. You can come train for free as long as you post, you know, clothing stores, depending on where you're at. It's getting to that level because more and more high profile players are coming to the league, you know?
Yeah.
And soccer's like growing at a rapid rate with the new stadiums, new teams. People are highly interested, you know, and bro, the level is climbing. The level is climbing heavily.
Yeah. So in terms of like, but I know me and Elle always talk about this. Like, you don't have like that LeBron James or like that John Morant, where it's like, you know, you see what they rock in, you see how they moving off the field. What will it take? Like, are you guys gonna just start sharing more? Like, how is that gonna, like, the team's got to post y'all more? How does that work in your end?
I feel like I always wondered that as well. The vibes are definitely different over here. Like I remember when I was playing in Europe, you know, guys handle their social medias a little bit different. To more so they like market themselves much more. You know what I mean? They market themselves way more. They have like YouTube channels to where they, you know, show what they do every day, or the team will follow like a certain player and do certain things. And I mean, it'll take some time. It'll take some time before it gets to that level. I just think, yeah, like you said, it's just the culture. We're kind of playing a little bit of catch up, you know. But yeah, I think it'll get there sooner or later.
No, respect. Okay. Obviously, you're playing for FC Cincinnati, one of the newer teams in the league. The buzz has been crazy. I know you guys got a new stadium. How has it been? Obviously, COVID kind of affected some things, but how has it been, playing for the new team? And have you had a chance to see the city
Yeah,
and things like that?
it's been good, man. My family, they like the city. My mom, sister, they come out to visit all the time. My wife, she likes it. Um, it's been great. It's a Midwest vibe though. So it's
Mm.
you know from the outside looking in, you see the skyline, you think like, whoa, big city living. But like when you get here, it's like slow tempo.
Yeah.
More for the family orientated person.
Yeah.
But I like it. And then as for the club, yeah, man, they're working really hard to try and make this really top notch. When I came, they hadn't had the facility finished yet, but now it's like state of the art, man. They got everything in the facility. You got chefs cooking every meal. You got the whirlpools, you got the jacuzzis, you got the saunas, you got the heated pitches. You have everything. And then this new stadium is about to be another step up. And it's a soccer city. Like you got a large amount of fans out here, so I like it a lot.
Yeah, Cincinnati has a good demographic of different cultures and stuff like
Yeah,
that. And I mean, even when they're in the USL, they was bringing in big numbers. So,
yeah.
have you had a chance to see the stadium yet?
No, we're supposed to do a walkthrough in a few weeks though. They're
Okay.
gonna walk us through everything, show us the locker room, pitch, the family rooms where the families will be staying and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right, perfect. And your career is taking you through a lot of amazing places. You play with a lot of amazing players. I want to ask you real quick. Earlier I asked you about the DMV best 11, but all time best like five-a-side team that you're coming into the turf. And for context, to the turf was a residency term. So let me just take you through it real quick. Wake up 6 in the morning, we do IPI, basically workouts. Then we go to breakfast, then we go train. From there, we go to lunch, then we go to school, 12 to 5. Then this is where the magic happens. We either come back, you got some guys that do their homework, and then the rest of the guys that are really trying to get to the work, they say
Yeah,
to the turf. And this is where
yeah,
we play five-a-side until it gets dark. And, you got to come prepared because you're either going to get hurt or you're going to get exposed or you're going to get better. Um, so you're five-a-side who you're taking with you of guys you played with. And you've played with some top talent, Ryan Babel, you mentioned Edson, Patrick Aubameyang, all these top level guys. Who's your five-a-side?
man, that's tough, bro. All right, so
Disclaimer, he's not hurting anyone's feelings too, by
not
the way.
hurting nobody's feelings. Do not take offense to anything. All right, I'm taking Hendrik Mkhitaryan. I'm taking Roberto Firmino. I'm taking Ryan, and I need player that's gonna clean dudes out. So definitely taking Edson. So that's my four right there, and then me.
Yeah,
So
I like that.
we'll be solid. We'll be
That's a
solid.
good that's a good squad.
Good squad, yeah.
We'll be solid.
Yeah, you've been playing with some top talent.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the difference with between those guys? You talk about them working hard, but I had the chance to play with Kaká, and I was just like, yo, like they see the game differently. And you've played with top guys, and is at their prime when they're developing with you, and towards the later end of their career. What's like that one thing that they all have?
Mentality. All of them have mentality. So like they all have that mentality that they are going to bring their game. Like they do what makes them special 24/7. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times guys get caught up in trying to do something because they think it's what the coach wants so that they can play and things like that. But like these guys, they do what they do so the coach has to play them. I remember when Roberto Firmino first came over to Hoffenheim from Figueirense. It was a second division Brazilian team. And this man was trying all these flicks and doing all this stuff. And like some of the other dudes were getting mad, like, he never passes. He keeps doing all these moves. It's not working. Da, da, da. Like the first 6 months, they were hating, bro, hating.
Mm.
Then it was summer break. Man went home for the off season, came back the next season. He was slimmer. He was fitter. And then all them tricks, bro. He was like, I don't care if they ain't working. I'm going to keep doing them. And they were working, bro. Then they were just working. Then he had that one season, he had like 15 assists, like 11 goals and 15 assists that season, bro. So he just had the mentality like, I know where I'm trying to go. I know what I'm trying to do. And this is like, failure was no option. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same goes with Ryan. You don't know Ryan personally, but this guy's like, he's got his mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got a one-of-one mind. So he has the way he sees the game. And there's only so much you can tell a player like that. You know what I mean? You can't tell him like, oh yeah, when you get it, try and do that. Like he's already, you know what I'm saying? He's already thinking few
plays. So yeah, I got you, coach.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah, yeah. Exactly. Same goes with Mickey Tarian. He was also a special player, man. And he was one of the nicest dudes, but like Mickey was a special player, bro. He could turn on a dime, pressure in the midfield, like Nevin Subotic or whoever the center back was could just launch that ball to him in the middle with two of the center D mids on his back. And this man is still turning and then going full steam ahead at the back four, bro. Slipping a Aubameyang or Royce in there. So like I used to watch those guys and just think like, damn, man, these dudes, the mentality was just so strong, man. So that's what I felt like the difference was.
No, man, thank you for sharing. I think, I mean, your story is still yet to be told in the right way, and I know you're going to be telling it soon. Which leads me to my next point. You know, you got some things in the works. You know, you got a fashion line that you got a Twitch account. You got a media, Takeoff Media. Talk about some of the projects that you do and like kind of inspiration behind it.
So yeah, I just a couple of years back, or maybe not even that far back, man, I would say a year and a half, like I just started tapping into like, as an athlete, you have this moment, you have these years of your life where people want to know what you're doing, where you have like an audience to where you can build something after your career. And you've got like this influx of your salary that you can use now to grow your brand, to grow your wealth. And so I just started researching stuff, man. And I was like, all right, I want to build something that I can call my own. You know, a lot of young guys, they're so into like designer and doing things like that. Like if you got the bread for it, cool. But like you're gonna have a closet full of stuff that is trendy. It's like in a few years, like it's gonna be, you know, not the latest stuff anymore. So I was like, man, let me rock something that's mine. You know, let me get something that I can call my own. I used to like, you know, lease whips and do this, like, oh, I got the new model, like, you know, and I was like, bro, you leasing the whip, you might as well just throw that money out the window, bro. You might as well just chuck it out the window. So I was like, man, let me switch it up and see what else I can do. So just planning for after soccer, you know, with the takeoff. That's just something that I want to do. That's going to be, you know, my line, my performance brand, or how you want to call it. And then, you know, back in Ghana, me and my dad are linking up. We got some stuff in the works over there.
Oh, what?
Bro, just trying to tap into everything, you know, learning about crypto, you got so much time as an athlete, man, after practice. Just come home and you can just read up on stuff, man. You know, different ways to build your wealth. Because like I was saying, right now as a soccer player, you got an influx of money that you got coming into. You're not going to be making the same salary forever. You know, after sports, you're gonna have a few months where you're gonna be like, oh, where's my next salary? You know,
it's like you got to call Cobra. It's like, they're not taking care of my health care. Like, what's going on?
Exactly. Yeah, man. Like that's when reality hits, bro. You got, you know, MLS ain't paying for your insurance no more.
Yeah.
You know, you ain't getting the same deals on the cars that you used to get. So you got to set something aside to where you can build something that you can eat off of. So that's where all that came from.
Respect. And also, shout out to you, man. You and Tommy doing the virtual soccer training. That's the big movement, helping people, develop their skills.
Sure.
When it comes to two of the most technical guys in the league, you guys are right up there with the best of them. And it's funny, two of the fittest too. And it helps. His dad was a former professional. Your dad was a former professional. So it might be the genes.
Yeah, crazy. And before that, like I knew a couple guys that played with Tommy, but when the guy Tim Ryerson came to me with it, and then he showed me some of the clips that Tommy had been doing, like on the Zoom calls and stuff, I was like, dang, because he was saying like, yeah, his dad used to do the same thing with him, take him to his summer camps and do all the drills. Because I saw all the drills he was doing, and I was like, man, this not that it was like similar, but I was like, it seems like this dude was in summer camps 10 weeks of the summer just like me. And lo and behold, we had a combo, and he was like, yeah, I was at the summer camps doing all that stuff. So yeah, that was funny how we linked up.
No, respect. So I got a question for you. You might answer it, you might not. You might try to be political. Your son, your future child, whatever, has a chance to go pro. You sending them to Europe? You keeping them in the States?
If this was a few years ago, maybe I would have said I'm sending them over directly, Yeah. But now the dynamic is like changing. The league is growing. And I think about it, I'm like, dang, 14, bro, that's young. 14 is young. Like, I look at my daughter right now, and I'm like, man, if I had to tell her, if she told me that she was going to be leaving to go somewhere forever for 14, I'd be like, eesh, So kudos to our parents for letting us chase our dream like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that I would let him or her play stateside and get a certain level of experience before going over. Because I look at, a lot of the transfers now. I look at, Mark McKenzie. I look at, Brennan Aronson. I look at, the guys, Brian Reynolds, the guys who played over here for a few seasons and then were able to make that big bounce, So I think if they have the talent, I would advise them to do that.
Oh, respect. Yeah. Like you said, it's a timing thing. Because, if you was coming up with the talent you had now, that might be a $15 million transfer fee, I'm telling you. But that's how life works.
That's how life is, bro. That's how life is, bro.
Yeah. Oh, what you got?
Let's go ahead and jump into Two Truths in the Cap. So I don't know if we gave you the rundown, Joe, but Two Truths in the Cap is a game where you'll give us 3 facts about yourself. 2 will be true, 1 will be a lie, and Amobi and I have to guess what the lie is. Right. So Amobi, last week we got that one right?
Yeah. No, actually, you got it right. I got it wrong.
Now we did I think we both got it right.
We both get it right.
We both got it right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we on a decent little streak right now. So Joe, let's see if you can stump us.
All right.
So go ahead and take off whenever you're ready, man.
All right, cool. I was a real big anime artist back in the day, low key. In elementary school, I was first chair clarinet player. And then also back in the day, I used to, go out to the ponds with my uncle. We used to catch these big old fish. Yeah.
Damn. Who else did we have on the show that said they do clarinet?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I was trying to think.
I'm gonna say the fish's cap. Just by the way he said it, it seemed like it was a lie.
Nah,
so I'm gonna go with that last one.
Okay. It was your uncle on your mom's side, I think, if I remember correct. I know he's into anime, but I don't know about anime artists. What was the second one again? Nah, he was no clarinet player. He was too busy playing soccer. Nah, that's the cap for me.
So do I answer now?
Yeah, you tell us who got it right.
All right. L got it right.
Golly.
L got it right. I was clarinet, bro. I was first chair, man.
Oh my God.
Man, don't try to box the man in. He multifaceted, bro.
Yo, I was into the instruments, man. I played clarinet and the saxophone.
See, I was assuming it was gonna be like another instrument, so I was like, nah, that's cap for sure. Unbelievable. Okay. Fair enough.
All right, cool. So let's slide right into these topics, though. So we all know MLS, Sacramento's out of the MLS race for now. So there's 5 cities that could possibly, be in the running to take its place. So you may or may not know the main investor for Sacramento's MLS bid pulled out. Maybe it's due to COVID. Maybe it's due to some other things that they saw. But this opened the door for some other markets to kind of slide into place. So Detroit, Vegas, Phoenix, San Diego, and Sacramento still could be in the running if they get another lead investor. But out of those are the 5 markets that are said to kind of be in the running to take its place. So which city do you guys think is most likely to get the bid? And, why? Why do you think that's the best city?
Man, for me, I would say Phoenix or San Diego. Phoenix or San Diego. I like Phoenix just because of the success they've had in the USL these past years. They've had a lot of good players, and I think that's a good market. I think that's a good market to get into. But also San Diego as well. Like San Diego is San Diego. With Landon Donovan, I think that could attract a lot of players. Yeah, that's a tough one. If I had to just pick one, but yeah, those are mine right now.
Yeah, those are both good options, but I got to go Vegas. I think Vegas is just the logical decisions with where everything's going. Sports betting, you've seen what they've done with the Golden Knights, the Aces, even the Raiders moving there. I know, I'm not going to say I know personally, but I know MLS is like, we have to have an imprint in Vegas in some capacity. So
yeah,
I think Vegas is the move.
Vegas, bro.
That's just, that might be a bad away trip. Their home record should be very good. Actually, it could be very bad too, depending. But
babe, we're going to Vegas for the weekend. What?
We got a 3-day road trip. Coaches would be setting it up where, okay, Vegas game Saturday, we're going to leave Tuesday. Just get acclimated.
Heck yeah, bro. I'm telling you, that's what the East Coast teams will do.
For sure.
East Coast teams will do that for sure.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so I think Vegas is Vegas, but Phoenix, San Diego, even Detroit, and I know you mentioned even Sacramento. It's the thing about the U.S. There's so many good markets, but from the standpoint of right now, logically, I think Vegas makes the most sense.
Yeah.
So you think they bring a brand new team into the fold, or they port over one of the USL teams?
Nah, brand new team, new owner. Yeah, I know people are trying to actually bring something to Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump into the next topic. So recently, LeBron and Maverick joined Fenway Sports Group as one of the first Black owners or Black partners to join the group. So this is big because LeBron already had a stake in Fenway Sports when he did his marketing deal with them. So he owned like 2% of Fenway Sports, which actually owns Liverpool as well as the Red Sox. But now he's up in that stake and taking a bigger piece of the pie. And he brought his boy Maverick along as well. And so on Tuesday, they approved the $750 million investment from Redbird Capital, in addition to LeBron and Maverick jumping in. So with plans to expand into other sports. So they want to move into NFL, NBA. They want to grab another European soccer club, NHL, MLS, WNBA, as well as NWSL. And so this is a cool strategy. We know that they're going for world domination here, but caught a little heat with the NWSL side because of how they treat Liverpool's women's team. They don't get any investment on that side, so it kind of, I guess, rubs some people the wrong way. But I want to get you guys' thoughts.
Who doesn't get the women's team? Won't get any investments from the.
currently Liverpool's women's team doesn't get any like attention from the ownership group.
They're not getting the resources.
Yeah, but they're talking about adding an NWSL team. You know, so it's like if you can't take care of the women's team you already have, how are you going to handle NWSL team? So I wanted to get you guys' thoughts first on LeBron jumping into the game even more, but then also on the women's side as well, like kind of what FSG is doing with NWSL while potentially neglecting Liverpool's team.
You want to start or?
Yeah, I'll say LeBron and Mav, they had a serious 1-2 punch. It's like Jordan and Pippen, but from a business angle. I think this is a good move. Partnering up with Fenway Sports Group, one of the innovators when it comes to the sports business, private equity, VC space. So I'm excited to see what moves they got in the works moving forward. From that standpoint, I love it. Maverick Carter, LeBron James, those are the people that I look up to from a business sports perspective as well. On the women's side, them investing in NWSL, while that's great, but you also have to invest in the women's team that you already own. I think it would make sense because then you can build like a relationship. NWSL, I know a lot of those players in their off seasons, they go on loan to teams in Europe. So that would be a great way to, create a synergy, but, just use the resources. They're not lacking money. I don't want to tell someone how to spend their money, but Liverpool did make it to Champions League finals 2 years in a row. They won the league. I think they're doing well. So I think they can share some money over to the people that need it and are deserving as well.
No, I definitely agree with that. It's so cool. It's motivation to see, LeBron doing like such big moves like that. You know what I mean? With these big ownership stakes. And it's cool to just see a lot of the NBA players as a whole making moves like that. Seeing Kevin Durant do it. Seeing who else did it? James Harden did it.
Yeah.
Just seeing moves like that, man, is definitely nice to see guys, opening up and branching out into different spaces. Hopefully more guys try to reciprocate that in the future. But yeah, gotta invest in the current investment that you already have on the women's side. If I was the Liverpool women's team, I'd be looking at it like, what? I'd be like, wait, what's going on? It's cool for the NWSL side, but for the Liverpool women's side, it's definitely like it's bittersweet. But like Amobi said, I'm never the one to tell anybody how to spend their bread. So, but hopefully they'll be able to patch that up because the other moves that they're making are definitely big.
Yeah, I think they got relegated recently too, which is even worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But Joe, like to that point, seeing other athletes, like even former soccer players like DeMarcus Beasley, Landon Donovan, people kind of
Michael Parker
as well. Investing in USL or other, lower league teams. Do you have any ambition to do the same?
Nah, but I would try what, kind of trying to reciprocate what my father is doing. Just, becoming like a feeder. Feeder, basically like a farming system for a lot of these clubs, with all the talent that my dad has produced. He's been able to, send a lot of kids, to certain places, or a lot of guys have been able to, get to certain places through his training. And nowadays, like so many people are looking for the ins and outs. They're looking for scouts, or they're looking for, small clubs to find players. So if you are recognized as, the place that's producing a lot of talent, that's how you can capitalize as well, making a small club or your own training program, things like that, and then partnering with bigger clubs, and they, funnel money through your whatever you have, your project, that enables you to create more talent. You can invest more in your equipment or whatever, And then it's an ongoing cycle of talent, producing players, getting transfers, all types of stuff.
Yeah, I think once they get this whole solidarity payment thing worked out, we'll start seeing a lot more of that circulating for sure. All right, so let's jump into another game we like to play here on the show. No card, yellow card, red card. So this is a rapid fire game where I'll read off some headlines or some topics, and you'll give me your opinion on those topics using the soccer card system. So no card is obviously I'm cool with it. Yellow card, I can go either way. Red card is I'm not cool with it or I disagree. And then kind of give a reason why you gave that card rating. All right. So first one, no card, yellow card, red card. Yunus Musa commits to U.S. men's national team. Joe, I'll let you go first.
So no card would be I see no problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no card. I think that's a good move for both parties. I think he'll be a big part of the squad moving forward, and I think it's a big pickup for the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah, no card. The only way I would say yellow card is that if is from the standpoint of U.S. Supporters not thinking he was going to sign with or commit to U.S.
Yeah.
I think a lot of dual nationals will like hint or like say they're going to go somewhere else, but at the end of the day, they want to play for the States. It's just that they want to be kind of the top dog. So, they just want to be courted. They want to feel loved.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so next one. No card, yellow card, red card. Trent Alexander-Arnold is dropped from England's recent call-up. Joe, what you think?
From a player standpoint, yeah, it's kind of rough, but I would also say no card, bro. Liverpool's not having the best season, man. It's tough, especially in the English game, man. It's dog eat dog out there. I feel like there's other right backs that are doing their thing. Reece James is playing well. Wan-Bissaka is doing his thing. Did Wan-Bissaka get called up?
I don't think so, bro.
That's a red card right there.
Yeah, he isn't even getting love. He's been threatening to play for where's he from? Ivory Coast.
Congo.
Ivory
Coast,
I think.
Yeah.
I think it's Ivory Coast, but yeah, that's a red card that he's not getting called up. But I don't think it's a card that Trent didn't get called up.
Yeah,
what you think?
I agree. No card. It's just crazy. Just this time last year, they can love you, hate you, love you again. They were saying he was the best right crosser in ever. Like Beckham has nothing on Trent Arnold. Now, hey, let some time pass before you make these proclamations.
Yeah, man. They build up to break you down, bro.
Yeah. I think Alex Rodriguez said it best, like the world loves fives. They don't want you to get too high, but they love a good underdog story, so they don't want you too low. So, but I know he's a good player. He'll bounce back. It's just one call up.
Yeah.
All right. What you get at again, Amobi?
I'll give it no card.
No card. All right.
Yeah.
All right, last one. No card, yellow card, red card. Brazilian fans up in arms over renaming the Maracanã after Pelé. So if you're not familiar, the Maracanã is the national stadium in Brazil, world famous. So they're thinking about naming it after Pelé. People not feeling that, obviously.
Yeah. Damn, that's a tough one, man. Because me being from the outside, obviously I'm not Brazilian, so I would say I'll give it a yellow card, Just being, I can understand the Brazilian fans, they have a connection with that, It's such a historical, hallmark in the Brazilian football. But at the same time, it's that's Pelé, he did so much for your whole football federation. Why are y'all trying to downplay your man?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, because the Maracanã is a symbol stadium. Everyone knows about it, but also everyone knows about Pelé too. And he's, he put Brazil on the map. I don't want to be on no Sean King hype, but it's what if Pelé was of a different ethnicity? Would they be more? Yeah, we might be more willing to change the name. But hey, you got to play all factors. I don't know.
We might think about it.
We might be more willing to consider it, but I know the history of Brazil against a lot of friction when it comes to that. So I'm not. Like I said, I'm not trying to be on no Sean King stuff, but that should be taken into consideration. I'm sorry. It's always jokes when I'm tapped in with Joe. Sorry. Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. They can at least put like a statue outside the main stadium or something.
Man,
give some sort of recognition.
Something.
Yeah. So yellow card for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a yellow card.
All right. Oh, come on, man.
All right. So that's it for no card, yellow card, red card. So let's jump into our Black soccer history for this week. So this week we'll be talking about Sydney Leroux Dwyer. So Sydney Leroux Dwyer is a professional soccer player and Olympic gold medalist who currently plays as a forward for Orlando Pride in the NWSL. Leroux was born in Surrey, British Columbia, to a Canadian mother and an American father. Her mother played third base for the Canadian national softball team. Her father was a professional baseball player who pitched briefly for the California Angels in 1986. Sydney also played Little League Baseball for 10 years in addition to excelling in track and soccer. Leroux became the youngest player to play for the Vancouver Whitecaps of the W League at the age of 15. She also won a championship as part of a British Columbia select team at the Canada Games in 2005. Leroux knew from an early age that she wanted to play for the United States women's national team. So in order to pursue that goal, she moved to Scottsdale, Arizona at the age of 15 and attended Horizon High School. And during her junior and senior years while living with multiple host families. She also helped lead Sereno Soccer Club to state titles in 2007 and 2008 during this time. Leroux played collegiate soccer for UCLA from 2008 to 2011 under head coach Jill Ellis and BJ Snow. You were there at the same time, right, Amobi?
Yeah. Her and Lauren Cheney Holiday up top, one of the deadliest combos in women's college soccer history. It was crazy watching them play.
Yeah, for sure. So as a junior, Leroux ranked 5th in UCLA history for career points at 91, as well as 4th in goals, 41, and game-winning goals at 15. She ranked 3rd in the Pac-10 for goals with 13, and 2nd in game-winning goals with 6, earning her first team All-Soccer American MVP, 3rd team NSCAA All-American, first team NSCAA All-Pacific Region, and first team All Pac-10 honors in the same year. So she balled out that year. Crazy. Leroux was the number 1 pick by the Atlanta Beat in the 2012 WPS draft, but the league folded before she could play a game with the team. That summer, she joined the Seattle Sounders women of the W League, and in 2013, she joined the Boston Breakers in the inaugural season of the NWSL. Leroux also spent time with the Seattle Reign, Western New York Flash, FC Kansas City, and Orlando Pride, where she currently plays. Leroux has 25 caps with the U.S. Women's National Team, a gold medal from the 2012 Olympics in London, and a World Cup from 2015. So we want to salute Sydney for being a baller, a wife, a mother, and a fixture in American and Canadian soccer.
Yeah, salute to Sydney. The fact that she only has 25 caps.
Yeah, bro. When you said 25 caps, I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know what. That's a crime.
Yeah, she missed a lot of time to injury, and then she got pregnant back to back. So
yeah, but yeah, shout out to Sydney because I remember one of my good friends' daughter. I was talking to her about soccer, and she was like, I was like, "Who's your favorite player?" She was like, "Sydney Leroux," and I just called up Sydney because we're good friends from college. And when my friend's daughter heard her on the phone, changed her whole life. So that exposure, representation matters, and Sydney's done a great job of doing that, for young African American women. And so shout out to her, and not only Women's History Month, but Black History Year. So
for sure.
For sure.
So yeah, that's it for this week, man.
So thank you once again, Joe, for tapping in. Making time in your schedule. I know you got a wife and family to take care of. But for the folks that want to tap in with you, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on IG at Joe Gyau 36. You can find me on Twitter at 3-6 Finest. I'm not that active, but when I'm active, we active. So yeah, that's about it. I mean, my Twitch ain't really up and running yet, so I'll save that for another time. But
okay.
Yeah.
When his Twitch is up and running, get ready for some massive trash talk. Joe's one of the best trash talkers.
Yeah. Please, nobody get offended. Don't get offended by the trash talk. It's all love.
It's all
What you
love.
playing right now, Joe?
A lot of Warzone, man. A lot of Warzone.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much mainly what I'm on. I mean, I do fighting games too. Tekken, Injustice,
Classic,
Combat. I'm into all of that.
Dope.
And can we get a timetable on some of these projects that you got in the works, or are we still gotta wait?
Timetable. So I'm linking up with one of my boys. We're gonna start, creating some content when the season gets loaded. Some day in the life type footage. My cousin, he's good with the camera, so we're gonna try and launch some of that stuff. I would say summertime. I got something in the works with Peebo, my boy Peebo, Dwyer, Chris Hangy. They're content creators at this thing called Homegrown, based out of the DMV. They're we linked up over this past break, did a little mini documentary, so they're editing that. But yeah, that's those two things that are in the works right now.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that, and make sure you guys tap into Joe. Like I said before, one of the most underrated players in the game. But that's it for the show. Subscribe, rate, and review. It helps us get discovered. Follow us on all the socials at 2Cents FC. Check out our merch at 2centsports.shop. As you can see, I'm rocking the hat. It helps support the show. For us to continue to get wonderful guests, for us to continue to, be on a consistent basis, get that merch. And then tweet us your comments on the show or any topics you want me or Elle to discuss. Like you guys know, every week, unfiltered thoughts and opinions, the only soccer show where you're getting it like this. So thank you guys for tuning in, and hope to see you guys soon.
Peace out.
Peace.